Hey guys, I'm William from House by the Video Store, and today I'll be doing a review of the new movie from director Adam Wingard and writer Simon Barrett, The Guest. Now this movie just wrapped up a limited theatrical release not too long ago, and is now available on video on demand and DVD Blu-ray, and I think it's something you might want to see, so I'll avoid any spoilers to the very end, at which point I'll say they're spoilers. So let's get to the review. As I mentioned a second ago, this movie is directed by Adam Wingard and written by Simon Barrett, the same creative team that brought us You're Next.
Can I help you?
Mrs. Peterson?
Yes?
My name is David. Mrs. Peterson.
The titular guest in this movie is played by Dan Stevens, of Downton Abbey fame. He plays David, a soldier who visits the Peterson family as they're still mourning the loss of their son, who is also a soldier, and he claims to be a friend who served with them. He shares some last messages and ends up staying with the family. Is David who he says he is? That's the key mystery in this movie.
He wanted me to tell you that he loved you. Thanks.
The cast in this movie is superb, with Dan Stevens being the star of the show. He perfectly portrays the charming, respectful, almost innocent Midwestern young man who also has a dark and violent side. He makes you root for him as he takes younger brother Luke under his wing and helps him deal with his bullying problem at school, while the sister Anna is a bit more suspicious of him. The family dynamics are a key part of the movie and are mostly believable.
For the damages. Never let anyone pick on you. Here. You keep it. Miss Peterson, are you sure you're comfortable with me staying?
The technical aspects of this movie are great, and reason alone to give it a watch. The lighting, cinematography, and synth-heavy score are reminiscent of 80s movies, and all the action scenes are very well shot and engaging. This movie is not full of quick cuts and shaky cam, as is often the case with so many movies today. To give you specific details about the genre this movie best fits in, or anything more about the plot, would spoil the fun of watching this movie unfold. If you liked You're Next, or Drive, as I find that movie stylistically similar to this one, or if you like the other movies we reviewed or talked about on the site, you should enjoy this one.
Really, Mrs. Peterson, it's no problem.
Hey guys, now it's time for spoilers. So if you haven't seen this movie and you think you might want to, I definitely recommend watching it now before you listen to any of this, because I'm going to spoil some of the big plot points and twists that happen in the movie starting now. So this movie is essentially Terminator mixed with Halloween, mixed with Rambo, kind of. You have David showing up as the former soldier who doesn't really, he has some dark sides to him and gives indications that he might not be what he says he is, but you really don't get many indications of that till about 2/3 of the way through the movie. At that point, it makes a pretty hard turn to becoming much more action-oriented when everyone finds out what's actually going on with David and the Lance Reddick character, who is essentially the Dr. Loomis in this movie, who knows what David is and what he's capable of and shows up to stop him. When him and his crew get into town and attempt to take David out, that's when stuff really hits the fan. He starts killing the family because his cover's blown, and it's even made known that he was part of some type of experiment or training where he has mental programming that if he thinks his cover's blown, he'll take everyone out to protect it. So he goes after the family, even if he doesn't want to, he has to do it. So it kind of turns him into a single-minded Michael Myers type killer who only has one thing on his mind, which is taking out everyone who might know about his secret identity. So he goes after the brother and sister after he kills their parents, after Anna and Luke. There's a cool sequence that plays out that has a lot of neon lights and cool things that kind of are throwbacks to the 80s or 90s. And it's just a really good setting for the ending of the movie. And I think that even at the end of the movie, when Luke stabs David and kills him and he tells him he did the right thing, I think that's just because he didn't necessarily want to kill everybody, just his programming made him do it. So he's kind of a mindless killer in the mold of, well, I guess if you really want to consider it canon, Halloween 6, where you find out Michael Myers is controlled by a Celtic curse more so than just being a demented killer. Spoiler alert for Halloween 6. It seems to be just kind of a Halloween type movie disguised under military, normal family, small town settings. It's a really good movie. I definitely recommend taking a look at it. If you have friends who aren't big horror movie fans, but you want to show them a movie around Halloween, if you want people over for a horror movie, you could show this and they'll probably like it, because it's more of a Jason Bourne turns into a killer movie than anything else. So if you have any thoughts on this movie or anything I've said, let us know in the comments or at housebythevideostore.com. See you next time.